It was hard though. It was really hard.
Don't cry.
I'm not crying.
Don't cry. It's okay. It's all right to let things go.
My voice cracked at the perfect time.
And welcome back to another episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Same old shit.
Same old. How are you guys doing?
Crickets.
They can't talk through the camera.
I know.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Hey, maybe one day we'll do like calls.
Right? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Live calls.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but hey, who knows? We'll see.
I mean, it would be this. No. It's possible. It'd be this. We'd go live possible. In like the Facebook group, and then they would just call.
Huh?
Like normal.
Like through with that? Like through the Messenger?
Dongle. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we'll see. Maybe I don't know. One day.
Whatever. Who knows? So today was kind of a big day. We had a meeting before the podcast.
Yeah, before recording, we had our first social media video
client meeting, I guess. Yeah,
consultation. Maybe. Right? I don't know what it's called. Yeah, it's my first time at this.
She's basically become our friend now. With, she's our organizer.
Yep.
Yeah. So she needed some help with social media content, and even though I still struggle, it's a lot easier to tell somebody else what they should be doing.
Right.
And actually, than to actually do it. Mm-hmm. Like I know what I should be doing, but I just don't want to sometimes. Although I've been doing really good this last week. Mm-hmm. I've been posting every few days on each
platform.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that's hard is I have to keep up the podcast page and my Riley Black page. Right. So like I've combined most of my Riley Black things onto my keychain thingies, my course, what else? My files, all that kind of stuff. That's all on my Riley Black page. But I wanted to keep the podcast separate.
Right.
And so I still have the 2 pages. Right. So it's a lot.
Yeah, managing 2 pages.
Yeah.
Managing 1 page is a lot.
Right. So and trying to grow them both has been difficult, but I'm being pretty consistent with my content and making reels and in the groups and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Okay. But it was exciting. I mean, we have our first one, and I'm excited to make her some reels on her before and afters of her organizing, and you're gonna make her some stuff for the website.
Yeah, and it'll be fun, and to see her grow and everything. Yeah, for sure.
And she deserves it. She's amazing. She literally changed our life, as corny as that sounds. Yeah, but she helped us. She made it so easy to just be able to go through things and get rid of things and organize it once, she was here. So yeah. I mean, she's part of the reason we have this studio, because we were able to go through the whole house and the garage. Right. And she made it easy and took away the overwhelming part of it. Right.
We wanted her to come and help us with the garage sale and set get organized for the garage sale and get rid of some of the clutter inside the house as well. It'll be cool to see. And then also we're gonna start providing ad space. We're gonna do some ad reads hopefully here. Yeah. Talk to her about it as well, and she seemed a little interested in it.
Yeah.
Our table makers expressed some.
Yeah, I gotta reach out to them.
They expressed some interest when we first got to the table.
If you provide some goods or services that are that other laser owners, people who listen to our podcast, might be interested in, and you want to do an ad space, it's actually pretty cheap because we're just starting out. Right. So it's going to be
it basically goes by a rating system, so our downloads.
And even though 20,000 downloads is a lot in the grand scheme of podcasts, it's not a ton.
Right. We need to get the 20 episode.
Right.
Yeah.
The 20,000 an episode.
Yeah. To get that.
The big money, the big ad money.
What's that mental health one? I I blank. Oh well.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I'll remember it.
But anyway, so if you're
companies.
Yeah, if you're interested in buying some ad space, so say you're a supplier of some sort,
blanks,
Will,
whatever. Yeah, Will.
Not that he needs it. He freely advertises everywhere, and he does a great job at it.
Yeah.
I literally, I see him post, and I'm like, he does it so easily. And I'm like, I'm sitting here like, I don't want to spam people. But, we got to spam people.
And meanwhile, he's probably like, oh, my God, this is, my second post in a day.
Yeah, I doubt he cares, but I want to ask him. He's Will. He knows that that's part of...
We'll have him on and we'll talk to him. We'll ask him.
Yeah, totally. Well, we should. We've had him on twice, but it's been a while. So
we'll see.
Have him on again. But we don't really have much updates personal wise. Nothing's really happened in
just
last
day-to-day
week.
stuff. School.
Yep. School's going good.
Yep.
He likes his teacher.
That's good.
He likes the school. Mm-hmm. And Jackson's a pain in my ass as always.
Yeah,
so
we have this nice little tumbler still on the set.
Yeah, just a reminder.
Will it still be here when this airs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll still be here.
The month of September, all active patrons will be entered in to win this wonderful cup. And the lowest level is $4
a month.
Just a month.
Not
$4 a month. And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to enter. You'll automatically be entered. Yeah. And I almost forgot. Look, I wasn't gonna let you forget. I got my paper.
Yeah. She's got notes.
August, every month, every week, I was like, oh, I need to do our shout outs. Mm-hmm. But Patreon, although I love it, is not mobile friendly for this kind of thing. I cannot see the names of our patrons from my phone. So I finally remembered during the podcast to grab the list. So I got the list. So I'm going to read our August, even though it's September by the time they hear this. This is our August shout outs. And then, in a couple weeks, I'll do the September ones. And hopefully there will be some additional people who want to try and win this cup and support us. So, August shout outs. Barbie, Madison, Danny, Catherine, Renee, Emily, Amanda, Andrea, Keith, Josie, Jenna, Mark, Kathy, MJ, Ryan, and Will.
Keith is still on there?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
All right.
$12 monthly. He's active.
Right. Thanks, Keith.
Right? Thank you.
I should call him.
No, don't tell him.
What?
Why are you going to call him?
To say hi. I haven't talked to Keith in a while. We don't do our podcast anymore.
Don't remind him that he's...
I'm not going to remind him. I'm going to let that automatic payment roll. I'm not going to remind him. I'm just saying I haven't talked to him in a while, and he's paying us $12. I at least got to call him and say hi.
That's true.
He's kind of my best friend.
Yeah, all right. That's true. All right. I think I haven't heard from our guest. Oh, no, she said okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. So she's ready.
So we still have a guest. She's ready. And we'll be right back.
All right, BRB.
And we're back with our guest, Khara Davis, which is...
normally, this is where we plug their business.
Normally, I tell you where they're from, but she has 15 million shops. So she is Captain Do Too Much, is what she said. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Yeah. So before we even get started, I reached out to her, which I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't even think of having her on for a long time. Because I always, when choosing a guest, especially in the beginning, it was who do I interact with regularly, on social media, and who do I see that they're doing big things and they're doing quality work, because that's kind of important to me as well. And so when I reached out to her and she was like, me? And I was like, absolutely you. And she was like, no. And I'm like, yes. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because you're awesome. So she just didn't even she doesn't give herself enough credit. She is every time she posts, I'm always and that's kind of, I usually talk about how I met people and how I found people. And just every time she posts, I kind of gravitate to her posts, either because they're funny or relatable or they're really good. Her latest one was doing parties for her kids. So, and she went over the top for, all the different party accessories and stuff like that. So She doesn't give herself enough credit, but
I actually just so happen to have this sitting on my desk. This is the Pringles.
Oh my God. With a dome and every...
Yeah. Shaker top.
That is amazing.
My baby's own logo.
Her kids have logos.
Of course they do.
I'm kind of jealous because my kids don't have logos, but they're probably going to now, and it's going to be her fault. So
every kid needs a logo.
Of course. Yeah. So how did you get started in like laser stuff?
Wow. How did I get started with laser stuff?
Well, and like, what's your background? Because you have served, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was in the Army as a medic from 2008 until 2007 until 2014.
Nice. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I got out because I got married and I had a baby. And I was preparing to deploy again before his first birthday.
Oh.
And that was, fortunately, I did not have to make that hard choice to leave my child as an infant.
Right.
My husband was an attorney, but he could not move duty stations because he was working for the city of Tulsa as a prosecutor at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to leave them, but because he worked 12 or 14-hour days, he couldn't find adequate child care for our son. And so luckily enough, I had a really great unit. They were deploying, like literally deploying, and they allowed me to separate from the Army based upon my family situation.
Yeah.
That was a blessing.
Yeah.
And that was right before he turned 1.
Mm-hmm.
And for his first birthday, I got on Pinterest and I started crafting and making stuff.
Yeah.
And I made party hats and I made cupcake toppers and I did all these cute little things for my son's first birthday. And it was Mickey Mouse themed, and I had him red shorts and yellow shoes and a Mickey Mouse shirt.
I love it.
Shirt I ever made. And I used iron-on printable vinyl.
Yeah.
And I loved doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I kind of let that go at the time. I think because I was kind of a stay-at-home mom and I was with my son, I needed to busy myself.
Yeah.
And started finding furniture and refinishing furniture for a while. And so I was just,
I swear, as creators, like we've done all the things. Like, I mean, I made like pie cake pop things with my mom. We made like those like fleece tie-up blankets. I made those like measurement charts. Like we have one in my son's room that we've never even used. Yeah. So you just kind of do all the things. And I feel like you have to do all the things to find which ones you really enjoy doing, because you think you're going to enjoy doing it and then you do it and you may even enjoy it at first. And then it depends on how long you continue to enjoy doing said thing.
True. Let's see. My mom is a seamstress. Her mother was a seamstress. My grandfather was a television repairman. So I've always been around people who tinker and who create and who do stuff with their hands. But I actually have a degree in biochemistry and molecular biology.
I told you, like, she's a really cool chick, and she is surprised why I want to have her. Like, yeah. Sorry, continue.
But and I love science. I love the discipline of science. I like doing experiments, but I did not love working in a lab. I did not love a lot of the
the
day-to-day
stuff that comes with it. Yeah.
Things that came with it. And I didn't discover that until much after I got my degree, because I got the degree. I loved it then. I joined the military as a medic to pay off student loans and gain experience to apply for medical school. Like my entire life, if you'd asked me when I was 5 what I was going to do when I grew up, I was going to be a pediatrician.
Yeah.
If you asked me when I was 19, I was going to be a pediatrician. If you asked me when I was 23, I was still going to be a pediatrician.
Right.
But somehow, between that, serving in the military, and becoming a mom, my entire universe, like flipped on its axis.
Yep.
And one thing that I'd always loved, despite the fact that I really put it down when I was younger, was art. Mm-hmm. I sketched all the time. I drew all the time. I'd always make little trinkets and bracelets for people. I had someone post on my Instagram a few years back who I went to high school with, and it was like, I just threw away that bracelet you made for the dance team.
Oh my gosh.
Bracelets? I forgot about that.
Oh, I made those? That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, like just trying to find something to do with myself.
Yeah.
And eventually, I got a Cricut. I was making shirts because my sister asked me to, and then people asked me to, and I love designing, but I don't necessarily love the making part, especially since you cannot see my wall of vinyl, but I have probably over 100 rolls of HTV and regular vinyl, and when I would design a shirt, it had to be special. My shirts had to have 4 different colors, with glitter, with this, with that. And I burned myself out because I couldn't charge.
Because you're having to do too much.
Yeah. I only want to pay $20. And even if they want to pay $20, they're like $20 for a shirt. Right. They don't want to pay what I would design for. And so I burned myself out on that really, really, really quick.
Same.
But I have all the stuff. Like, I have probably 1,000 shirts that I need to destash.
Yep.
No lie. Because we've got a warehouse space, and it's got a lot of my shirts in it. And I
just recently, probably 6 months ago, 3 to 6 months ago, got rid of all of mine. I sold my silhouette. I was holding on to that for a long time. And I teach a silhouette course, but I was never actually using the silhouette machine. And so much so I kept keeping it like just in case I wanted to make something for like me and whatever. Right. And every time that opportunity came up, I was always like still preferring to pay someone to do it for me. And so I was like, I'm keeping this just in case, but one, I won't use it for my own stuff. And if someone reaches out to me for an order that would use my silhouette, I turn it down. So I'm like, why am I keeping this again? So I sold all of my shirts, the silhouette, the heat press, and all of my vinyl for $200.
Oh my gosh.
And it was gone in minutes. But it felt so good. Once I did it, it was hard posting it. It was hard coming up with the price because I didn't want to do too much, but I also didn't want to do too little because it was a lot of stuff. But it was perfect. It was someone who just wanted to start out. She really wanted to make shirts, and she got to get in cheap. And I also got to clear, because it was all of that stuff was underneath my desk, and it was literally just taking up space, collecting dust, and in my way. And it was and I knew I wasn't going to use it. Right. So yeah, it was time to let it go. It was hard though. It was really hard.
Don't cry.
I'm not crying.
Don't cry. It's okay. It's all right to let things go.
My voice cracked at the perfect time.
That part of this podcast, because if he knows that you got rid of your stuff, he might try to make me get rid of mine.
Shh, don't tell him. He doesn't have to know.
I can't do that.
But you still use yours.
I do.
Yeah.
I use it more, for personal stuff,
the parties and
gender reveal stuff for her party next week. Right. But I really use it more personally than I do professionally.
Yeah.
So I had, and still sometimes I'm like, how can I tie this back in?
Right.
Sublimation, I've got the 24-inch Epson sublimation printer back there in that other room. Yeah. And so I actually want a bigger heat press because I like doing unisub and making signs with it. Combining that with my laser stuff, I keep trying to think, well, I've invested this money into this thing. How can I use it as an asset instead of, it's just
a dust collector? Yeah. Well, so let's talk about your space really quick, because you just built this a year ago, right?
Right. So a little more than a year ago, my husband bought a 2-bedroom, 900 square foot house from one of my cousins. And we gutted it and redid all the drywall, the floors, and everything. And we were going to use it as one of our rental properties because we have a couple of those. But my space had taken over our home.
Is my space
like an insatiable monster. Like it was really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
And we have a 3-bedroom home right now. Got 2 kids, but my youngest, she's 4. She had basically been in our room until just recently.
Wow. Yeah.
And she still wants to sleep with us.
Right. Of course.
But my craft space was the biggest room in the house, but it
still wasn't enough.
Table. Oh no, we have a pool table, and my husband hasn't played pool in years because it served as an extra space for me to store stuff. And every time we would clear it off, like within a few days, it goes
right back. Mm-hmm.
And we had storage unit, we had everything. So he's like, okay, well, instead of putting a renter in this space, how about you use it as your shop? We can get you out of the house and kind of take our home back.
Yeah.
And so we got everything finished. I think I was able to move in and start working here sometime in October last year.
So you basically have like a house as your shop.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's pretty pimp. That's great.
That's awesome.
That's a little bitty house.
I love it though. It's a little bitty house, but that's a huge shop.
It is.
That's awesome.
It's a great place. One of the things that I struggle with though is organizing it because cubbies and cubes only work for certain things, and then having a laser-based business where you carry blanks, and you have to store them so that you can fill an order, or storing your wood. And I am the master of hoarding every piece of scrap I can have. Like if it looks like I can make an earring or something out of it,
you save it. Yep.
Don't you know I really don't have any earring files?
Right, of course, yes.
Heather, this is Heather's file. I made
nice. I love it.
I did there some change ago.
Yeah.
I think I made a gamer sign for a kid, and it had some clouds in the background. And I was like, okay, well, let me take this piece of the cloud off of the sublimation piece. And bam, I made these. But I store a lot of my scrap. I'm trying to find a way to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I actually destashed so much acrylic scrap over the last couple months. I had a lady reach out to me asking for another box.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got it. So I'll destash it.
Yeah, that was another thing that was hard for me to destash, but that I finally did. So I don't work with wood much anymore, yet I was still holding on to these huge stacks of wood scraps. And I kept saying, shut up. And I kept saying I'm going to make magnets out of them, or I'm going to make keychains, or I'm going to, earring, whatever. And you just don't. You don't have a lot of time, and they, for people who do them, it can be really lucrative, because again, you can make those small things, charge $5-10 for those things, and they almost cost you $0, because you've if you price properly, you've already paid for that piece of wood in the project that you used the wood for.
Correct.
But for those of us who have a lot of other things going on, it's just another thing to do that we don't tend to get around to, because you do have to use the camera, place it properly. It's not, it's simple, but it's not. And so it's easy to procrastinate on it. And then the pile just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that was one thing that when we were going through, we hired an organizer, which I highly suggest doing. Look into it, and it might be more affordable than you think, because that's what happened with us. We lucked out and we found our organizer, who was actually just at our house today, she's hiring John to do some video work for her, because she's great at organizing, but she's not the greatest at making quality videos and content for social media. So anyway, I had found her when she was newer. So her prices were a lot more affordable, at least in the range that was affordable to me. And she's made my, all of my keychain accessories and stuff that I sell and my office so much more functionable that I would have paid 2 or 3 times what I paid her at the time, because it made me more productive. And it made it easier for me to keep it clean, for one, because I went through and really thought about, okay, am I using this And if not, and it's not something I feel like I can get rid of, I'll still keep it, but I'm going to put it further away from the space that I'm in the most. So, the things that are close by me are the things that I use regularly. So I can still keep this whatever machine, but I'm going to put it over here so that it's not in my way. But I highly, highly recommend getting... You good? Where are you going? I highly recommend getting an organizer for your business if it's something you struggle with, because the money will come back because you'll get it back in quality and production. Yeah. So, and productivity more so than production, but it will help with production too, because now that I have like a system to things, like the stickers I use for packing are right here, and the it's just all of it turned into a system. And so I highly recommend that, especially with you you almost have too much space to a certain extent, I could see, because then it she's like, no. I can't.
I think we lost your audio.
Oh, yeah. Where'd she go?
Oh, because I'm telling you, no.
Okay.
There's no such thing as too much space. Too much space does not exist for Khara Davis. Let me tell you.
Well, because, but you probably potentially, you're filling the space, but not filling the need. You know what I mean? Because if I had too much space, I would put something there, but that wouldn't necessarily be where and how it should go. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that's just a little tip. But I posted in one of the Facebook groups 100% thinking that I was not going to find somebody in my price range. But I was like, what if I can, this would be amazing. And luckily I did. And now she's basically become a friend. But it's one of the things that I was glad that I invested in, because it really does make a huge difference, especially when you're doing all the things. You need to eat all of your things need a place in a system.
That's true. That's true.
Tell me about all those machines behind you. Speaking of all the things.
Oh, well, this is my print tower.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my little laser printer that I use for my orders, and sometimes the print stickers.
Right.
I have an Epson ET1500, whatever. It's a large format printer for stickers and other things that I'm going to make that. And then I have a Silhouette Pro.
I've never seen one of the, and so it's 24 inches, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I have a Cricut Maker, and I have a Mink laminator, and then I have another cheap laminator, and then I've got, let me show you. I really should stay out of the groups, because somebody said, "Ooh, I
almost
got
bought
that. That prints on everything." I think I've had this thing for about 8 months. I have all the accessories too. I've got the little grid that keeps it straight. I've got some ribbon in there. I don't know.
It was really, really, really hard for me not to buy that.
I hope.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I was connecting the laptop to power.
I saw. I figured it out. I was like, where are you going?
Yeah, that's where I went.
And the room back there with the wreath, I have my heat press, my mug press, my Cricut Easy presses, my Epson F570, which is a 24-inch sublimation printer.
Nice.
And my vinyl, my little mini fridge, and a lot of stuff that still needs to be put away.
Yeah. So you have 4 shops. So what are the 4 shops, and how did you?
Goodness. Okay, so I opened my first Etsy shop back in 2015. It's K Davis Designs LLC. I did not know what I was doing. I just knew that I like to make stuff.
Right.
And so I started making those cute little marble trays with the handles on them.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff on. I actually made one for my bathroom, but I haven't put the handles on it yet.
Right.
Though, so so I listed it. I sold one in a week. And I was so proud of myself. And then I kept wondering why I didn't get any more sales. Khara did not know how to use Etsy at all.
Oh no, was it sold out?
In stock? Yeah, it was. It was sold out.
One and done.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So I kind of abandoned that shop for a while and just did stuff locally. Like I was refinishing furniture and stuff. And I sold a couple more of those trays locally, and then I stopped doing it. Although I bought cases of marble tiles, and my husband still gives me shit about the fact that I haven't used those marble tiles. Yeah. So now that I have a laser, I'm going to try that again.
Oh, yes.
I engraved my logo and stuff on the one I have in my bathroom. I just haven't drilled the holes to put the handles on it, but it's really, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Hopefully people may like it.
We'll right.
But no, I'm not getting rid of those tiles.
Right.
Am I a hoarder? Yes.
We're all craft hoarders. It's really hard. Yeah. But you're not alone.
What I used to say is I am prepared for the craft apocalypse. If something goes down and you need anything related to crafting,
Khara Davis has it. Yes.
And if I don't have it, one of these late nights in the middle of the night, I might buy it off of Amazon. That's how I bought my laser. So, okay. Getting into my journey and how I got, because I've got a Mirror 7 and I've got a Thunder 51 100.
Nice.
I first got a Glowforge back in February of 2020. I've been watching the Glowforge commercials, and they've been, Facebook has my number.
Yeah.
They keep advertising to me. And
in Glowforge marketing, it'll get you.
One night, in the middle of the night, I'm like, buy me a laser. I've been doing some freelance design work and, selling little things locally, and I saved up enough money so I could buy my own laser, and I didn't have to tell them. Because I didn't. I bought it in the middle of the night.
Now you have a whole other address to send it to.
Well, now she does, yeah.
Actually, I wasn't home when it came, so I had to tell him.
Oh, no.
You remember that laser I asked you for last year? Because I asked him for it.
And he said no.
Get it? No, he didn't say no. He just took too long.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't wait for him to get it. Yeah.
I asked a whole year ago. I was sincere. I know you think I have too much stuff, but I wanted that.
Right.
And so I got myself. Since I wasn't home when they delivered, I had to be like, hey, baby, I bought this laser.
Can you bring it inside?
Yeah, basically. When it comes, will you sign for it and bring it home, bring it in? And at first it was like, I can't believe you got this, but I started making stuff with it, and I developed a couple of things that were kind of unique for me, which were like the way I did my gamer signs. I immediately started combining sublimation with the laser, and that was, what I did when I first started. But that forge did not work out well for me. I ended up with 5 of those, and I sent my last one back July 2nd of that year. So I bought it like February 28th.
Oh, or something. Wow. And you had 5 by July?
And then, right. It was delivered March 7th, and I had 5 by July 2nd. I sent that last one
Heather
back.
had a similar story. She bought hers, I think, October-ish, and she had 4 by that next, I think it was March to June-ish is when her replacements started. Every replacement had a new issue. So,
The thing is that the first one they sent me was a refurbished unit, but it was filthy, and so I complained. And then they sent me a new one, and that new one failed. Then they sent me another new one, that new one failed. And then they sent me another new one, and it worked pretty well, but I did a cut, and I ended up with like this cute little screw on top of my work. And I was like, that shouldn't have come out. I don't know where it came from, but I'm not going to give you guys a chance to like blow up on me again.
Yeah.
So I finally sent it back. I think that for the market that it serves, like a hobbyist, and even, it works really well. It's plug and play. Yeah. It's a great starter machine.
Well, and even though Heather had 4 of them and ultimately like got her money back, and you know, my first one was down on arrival, it was still an introduction into the laser, and it still served its purpose to get you hooked on lasers, even when you have the issues usually. So yeah. And I mean, not everyone has that experience, you know, because they sell so many. There's gonna be like the people who don't have the best experience. But yeah, it's still an amazing starter laser, hobby laser. It serves its purpose because it's the reason. Hell, it's the reason for this for us, because you know, if t-shirts wouldn't have I don't think would have taken me this direction, because I mean, I honestly hated it, and laser stuff I actually like, you know.
Me too.
Yeah.
I adore making shirts. I like it when I make them for my kids.
Yeah.
But outside of making a shirt for my kids, like anytime somebody sends me a message, it's usually someone that I know, and so I'll do it. But for the most part, like,
man, some of the designs they send you, you're like, really? Like your friend Keith, I've said this a few times. He sent me this one, and it was literally like 2 paragraphs. And I was like, Keith, I'm not making that. It was one of those like, my husband is this and this and this, and like, you know, it was just one of those like funny, like descriptive ones, and it was long, and I was like, no, it's not happening. Like, I gotta weed all that. Like, no.
Who wants to weed all that?
No. For $25, like not including, because like what you don't take into account when doing the t-shirts is like, I'm pretty quick at designing, but I'm also like OCD, and it's got to be like good. And so even a quick design sometimes can take me like 30 minutes, or it can take me like an hour if it's a little bit more complicated, or, you know, whatever. And so now I've already spent an hour, and then now I have to weed it, cut it, weed it, press the shirt, you know, put it on there. Then I got to take pictures of it. Then I got, you know, it's just pack it up. Like, it took, like, especially, you know, if you have a ton and you get it down to a system, sure, you could do, you know, 20 to 40 maybe in an hour or a couple hours. But if you do one shirt, it's still going to take me a couple hours, because those, like, you can't skip any of those processes. And, you know, your friend would send you 3 t-shirts ideas. So now I have 3 different designs I have to make. I have several different colors I have to use. I have probably several different colors or types of shirts. And it just, it didn't, I mean, obviously it made me some money, because it made it so that like we could even consider buying the Glowforge. Part of that was because we had sold our house, but it was making me money, but I was hating life doing it, you know? And it's like, I knew it wasn't going to last, because I was already getting to that burnout point. So I was like, I got to find something else that I like enjoy doing, because if this is it, then I'm done. You know?
Literally anytime I tell my husband, I need to make a shirt, he side eyes me like, why are you doing that? You know you don't like doing that.
Right.
Why are you doing that?
Why are you torturing yourself? Yeah.
Because I said I would. Because they asked. I acquiesce a lot. I'm kind of a pleaser.
See, this is another business tip.
Personality.
Practice saying no.
That's hard.
It's really hard.
It is hard.
But let me tell you.
My baby can tell you no in a minute. Like... you don't even have to give you no rationale, no reason. Like, no, like that's a full sentence. He's done. I've gotten a little bit better at it, just because he's good for me.
Right,
it helps me to be more assertive.
Yes,
that is definitely not a part of my personality.
Yeah.
I am actually chronically shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like a extroverted introvert. Like, I like hanging out with people, but I also like, I mean, the fact that I even do this took a long time for me to get to this point. Like, when he first brought up podcasting, I was like, no, I don't want to hear my voice. Like, I don't like, you know, people don't want to hear what I have to say, you know, all that kind of stuff. But as far as the saying no, even though I still struggle to this day, I mean, hell, there's a project I have to make today that I couldn't say no to. So I'm not perfect, but I do remember when I first started saying no to t-shirts, one, because I got to the point in my business where I could say no. So that was huge too. It's like, I understand businesses in the beginning saying yes to almost everything because you need that business. You know, it's hard because like if you have a couple $100 in your business account, saying no to money is like, what am I doing? You know, but when you get to that point, when you can say no, it feels amazing. It's uncomfortable, but then once you do it and you don't have to do that shirt that's 2 paragraphs long, like it feels good. And it's like, okay, like now I'm a legitimate business. I, you know, need to do things that I want to do that are profitable, that make sense. It really is like a huge part in growing because, you know, if you're spending a lot of time doing the stuff that you don't want to do, first of all, those are the ones that you procrastinate until the end. Those are the ones that when you procrastinate till the end, you go and do it and something goes wrong. You don't have the right color. You don't have enough. You mess it up, you know, and so those are the projects that go wrong, probably because going into it, you're not like really excited about doing it. So if you're in that position where you can, saying yes to the jobs you want to do will benefit your business overall. But it's really fucking hard.
It is. It really, really is. It's saying no to the money, or especially like it's always the people that I know that it's hard to say no to.
Yeah.
I've canceled some Etsy orders. Like if I've gotten to a point,
that's a lot easier, because you don't know them.
Fourth is too much, or there's something my gut tells me,
right,
and then I'll go against it.
Yeah,
I can feel that, but my gut will tell me in the interactions with customers, you know, you need to cancel this order.
Right,
this is not going to be happy regardless of what you do.
Right,
or just setting realistic expectations.
Yes.
That is one thing that is that I'm learning as a small business owner, is that when you interact with your customers, sometimes you have to set their expectations so that they can understand that sometimes all their asks aren't possible.
Right.
Possible. Especially if you can ascertain a budget ahead of time.
Man. that budget is huge. Like, I want 20 shirts for, you know, with 6 colors, with this intricate design, and I want it by Friday, and I want to pay $20 a shirt. And it's like, nope.
Right. And then there's also there's the piece of your own, like managing your own expectations too. I was young, I could do lots of things concurrently and do them well.
Not me.
At 42, I am doing good.
You do not look 42, first of all. You look amazing.
Thank you. I tell my babies I'm a little old lady all the time, and they're like, Mama, you're not old.
Oh.
These hips.
Right. Getting off the couch like,
yeah. Right. But, I mean, that's one of the things I have to do for myself for keeping my expectations. I realize that I may not be able to do a run of 100 items in just one day. It might take me 3 days instead of just one day. You know,
I'm still really bad at estimating how much time something's going to take me. I'm really, really bad at that. I don't know that I'll ever get good at that. But yeah, and because even if I guess correctly on how much time it's going to take me, if I have more time, I put it off. So,
but I also have usurpers of time in my life. They're called my husband and my kids.
Right,
my
exactly.
husband will steal my time in a moment. But, what you doing? I'm working. Let's go eat. I can't turn down food. I can't turn down the date.
Right.
Okay, I'll put this off, and then I'll find myself shopping at midnight because I have to finish something. Because I told someone, yes, I will get this done. And no, I'm not going to charge you a rush fee.
Right.
Yeah, I will do this.
Well, my struggle is always thinking, oh, I'll do that after they go to bed. And then I put them down after a tough day. And I'm like, I don't make it further than the couch. I come around that corner from down the hallway where I put them to sleep. And then I have to pass by the couch to either get to the dishes. We were talking about this yesterday. Every day I'm like, I'm going to go do the dishes after I put them to bed, because they won't allow me to do them during the day, because then that means someone's crying because I'm doing dishes, and I'm like, every day that's my plan. And then almost every day it doesn't happen. And the same thing with going into my office. I have to pass by that couch and I'm like, I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to scroll a little bit and then I'm going to go, and I never get up.
And it's not the most comfortable couch.
It's not even, no.
Imagine if it was a great couch.
Oof, man. There would be
no Riley Black designs.
No, no, because it sucks me right in, especially again after a tough day.
You know what? Couch comfort is a criteria for buying the couch. Like when my husband and I go to buy new furniture, which we actually just did, like whether or not I can take a nap on that thing, that. Not how it looks, not what color it is, but
how it feels.
Be comfortable enough to take a nap. I need a nap.
But it's not good for business to have a comfortable couch.
Naps aren't good for business.
If you're napping your baby, I ain't working.
I don't know if you've seen the couch on Facebook that like pulls out and it's like a bed.
He showed me that yesterday.
Not a sofa bed, but almost like basically,
so it's almost like a trundle for couches. So like you have like your 3 or 4 cushions, right? But then you pull it out and there's 3 more cushions.
Oh my.
And it extends it. And I was like, oof. Ooh, that's dangerous.
Nothing will get done. And we won't need a bedroom because we'll always fall asleep on the couch watching TV.
Yeah.
And then our 5-year-old now, he'll probably be like 6 or 7, will come and be like, "Why are you guys in the living room again?"
In the morning.
Yeah.
We never made it to bed.
No, ever. Yeah. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh, we can't buy that couch.
No, we can't.
One of the things I had to do for myself for productivity was listen to my books while I work. That like sleeping is not necessarily the big thing that takes me away from work.
Yeah.
It's reading a book. Like I want any day of the week, what I want to do
is read a book.
Sit somewhere, have some wine or some whiskey,
and
read my book.
Yeah.
Don't let me do a series. I won't sleep. I'll barely eat. All I want to do is read.
Yeah.
And so I started listening to like Audible or Alexa. When Alexa reads a book off of Kindle, don't you talk to me.
I was going to say, you just set off everybody's.
I know. But when it reads the books from my Kindle, like if I don't want to spend the money for the Audible thing, she does not do a great job, but she does a good enough job that I can actually get the book in and work.
Right, but then then you get that pastime that you want while still making money.
If you want a great Audible series, this is a great time for you to download the Riley Black Project's podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people listen while they work, and it's something on topic that kind of, that like while they're working, they hear other people talking about working. Laser work. So we only talked about one of your shops, though. So what are the other shops?
Oh, okay. So we talked about the fact that I like to design shirts. So I have a shop called Neptune's Playground, and it is hopefully eventually what I'll call my maker space. The name derives from the planet Neptune because it's mostly diamonds, and so it's sparkly. And I also do glitter in another shop. So I was like, okay, well, if I like diamonds and sparkly stuff and bling, so Neptune's Playground could be my makerspace. Eventually, I'll have. But I have a lot of shirt SVPs and stuff on there.
Nice.
There are a couple of laser designs. I find I find that I design my laser work and I kind of hoard that too. Mm-hmm. I don't even do anything with a whole lot of the stuff that I design. If I go through my computer, there are so many elements. And lately I've been thinking, well, should I just like bundle some of these elements? Like just the apple, the pencil, the shirt, like those things that aren't necessarily a full design, but someone can use to create a design. Not to then try to sell my SVG.
Right. But don't take my stuff.
But I like to make designs. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Something I hand draw or just vector out in Illustrator.
Right.
And so
girl, you need that passive income. Get those listed. Get it. Come on.
So somebody asked me in a crafting group if I would make some shirt designs for her. Sent me the photo inspiration. I made my own spin on it.
Right.
And I listed them on Neptune's Playground and didn't think about it. And then I started getting like $5 a month, $10 a week. It depends on what time of the it is. And my husband's like, you need to be making that. Put that live, laugh, love shit up there. People love it. You need to do that. And I'm like, but baby, that's not my... I am my own worst enemy.
Listen,
that's not what I want to do. That's not what I wanted to do.
One of my best-selling designs is it's a cross, and I don't even remember what the quote is. She believes she did, she believed she could, so she did, or something like that. I don't even remember what it said, but it's a religious design, which is absolutely not me at all. But I had already made it and I had posted it and people were like, "Oh, I really like that." So I put it up. It's still one of my best-selling designs. Now, mind you, I also have like naughty designs in my shop. So like I got all of them. But I'm telling you, like, even if it's not your aesthetic, like if you can like make your shop like 100% the things that you love to make, sure. But if people are buying that design, the $4 or $5, I don't even know how much it is. It might even be $6 on there. And it's super simple. And I made it for one person. I put that design up there and it's still one of my best sellers. So your husband's right. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. He is actually correct a lot. Right. But he is correct on occasion. I mean, he do all right. But and so Neptune's Playground is where my SVGs are. It's just a purely digital shop. There isn't anything physical.
Right. Which is very important if anybody is considering setting up, either if they already have a physical shop and they want to get into the digital side. I 100% recommend not putting them in the same shop, because you're going to have a lot of confusion as far as that goes with your customer, and it's just people who are physical product purchasers don't really understand the digital part. Right. They just see the price tag and they don't understand. So keep that stuff separate.
Ooh, that watch band's only $5?
Don't get me started.
Dear Riley Black, I have not received
I paid real life money.
I forgot about real life money.
She bought several.
Not Monopoly money?
No, real life money.
Real life money.
Yes. Real life money.
I pay real life money.
According to her, I stole her real life money with my, that's right, with my SVG watch band designs.
Real life money's up there with a whole baby.
Oh, man.
And a whole relationship, a whole other family.
Yes. Not a half of a baby.
Not a half baby. A whole one. A whole baby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that saying is still right up there.
But yes, keep them separate to avoid confusion, because... So what else you got?
That's Neptune's Playground. Then when I first got my Glowforge, my goal with it was to make custom silicone molds for people who do resin and glitter. And I thought, okay, I need to sell glitter, because I'm going to make these molds. And if I had these molds and this glitter, it's going to all go together. I had a business partner at the time. She's still my very best friend, but we are not great business partners. So we dissolved our craft supply company that we formed together, but we'd already purchased
all the stuff,
glitter and stuff from China. And so I had all this glitter here, and we started it, but She's a lot better at the business side of things than I am. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at concrete tasks. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, even though you can have a business spreadsheet or checkpoints or whatever, right. That still doesn't work well with the way
your brain functions. Yeah.
Right. And so it didn't work out for us, but mm-hmm. she's still my very best friend, but I still had this glitter.
Right.
So I made Triton's craft supplies. Triton's is the moon, is one of the moons on Neptune. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of ties back together.
Right,
it's like, good. One of these days, I will have a makerspace.
Yeah.
Where people come in and use all of this stuff that I have bought way too much of.
Right. And put it to use.
Yeah. So I had to try to sell my glitter. And so Triton's Craft Supplies sells glitter. I have some keychain findings on there, but mm-hmm. I do acrylic blanks and sublimation blanks on Unisub. Mm-hmm. I also do POD sublimation prints off of the EP77 Epson printer that I just had to have.
Right, of course.
Let's see. Oh, and I also sell MDF and Baltic birch.
Oh, right. Yes. Nice.
And so that is my craft supply company.
I remember Heather, the first time she saw you post your MDF or your birch, she goes, Khara sells wood and MDF? And I was like, Khara does all the things.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So there's that. And then my last shop is called Wooden Scriptures. My family is very faith-based. Mm-hmm. I made the Lord's Prayer sign. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just sat there and never got listed. And my husband took it upon himself to make a whole Etsy shop just for my Lord's Prayer sign. It still has a home, but the concept, I think, is really, really good.
Yeah.
It has a built-in customer base, mm-hmm. and it's not, you have to do a whole lot of target market research.
Right.
Not like I don't have, like, if I could show you my tower of blanks. Like I've got, all the little things that you can mm-hmm. engrave on.
Right.
I buy way too much and put a beautiful scripture on many of them. It's not a hard thing. But
listen, I don't advertise that design at all. I'm telling you, it's one of my best-selling designs. And when you look at my shop, you're like, and it's because I made it for a friend. Yeah, it's definitely a good market, and especially if it's a market that also means something to you as well.
And it does, but I have a mental block when it comes to creating listings.
Oh, listings are the worst.
So like I said, I design a lot, and I don't always make a lot of things. I know one of the questions you said you would ask me is,
yes,
a new laser owner.
Mm-hmm. And what is that?
One, give yourself some grace. Let yourself fail.
Yes.
And try the intimidating things.
Mm-hmm.
That is advice that I'm giving myself, because I psych myself all the way out. I will do a fantastic design. I'll even cut it sometimes and then get caught up on, well, what color should I stain this? Mm-hmm. What color should I paint this? I don't know what colors to stain this or to paint this. So it doesn't get finished.
Right. Yeah.
And so I've got, half finished projects laying around. Finish that thing. Choose some colors.
Right.
You can't please all the people all the time. So
right.
You gotta please yourself. My main shop, K Davis Designs, the one that's been in kind of around since 2015. When I look at that shop, I actually am sometimes a little embarrassed. I don't know if I should say this on a podcast, but I'm embarrassed because I have a vision for it that I have not made come to fruit.
There's so many. I mean, the same thing with my SVG shop. I wish it was more cohesive. I wish it was more. I wish my pictures were better. I wish it was that's something all of us struggle with for sure.
I've allowed my customers to determine what is listed more than
what you want. Yeah.
Creating. There are some laser owners whose shops and podcasts or lives that I always tune into, and I watch and I look and I see and I feel like they have those sparkly lights around it going,
right.
Because their stuff looks cohesive or it's pretty, and they seem to do a lot of the things well. Right. I make things pretty well. I think I do really quality work, but it is very hard for me to put myself out there. And so I think for the new laser owner, put yourself out there, finish that project, post that picture, price it to where you make money.
Yes.
Don't price it so that people will buy it because it's super cheap. Prices that you make money. If something takes you 10 hours to do, it should have took you 5. You can take a little money off of it.
Right, take it down a little bit. Right. Yeah.
It takes 10 hours to complete, and when you calculate that up, and you're like, oh well, shoot, I should be charging $600-$700 for it. Do it.
Right.
Charge it.
Yeah.
Your customer, especially if the quality is there, if you put that time into it.
Right. Well, and if you've already made it, especially if like it's just like a sample or like the test one, or you made it for a friend, if you've already made it, what's the harm in listing it? Say no one like buys an additional one, but you've already put in that work. Just go ahead and post it. And then here's the other thing too. The things that I am 100% sure are going to do amazing, do not do amazing. And the things that I do not think that are good or quality or are my favorite are the things that like sell the most. And sure, sometimes you get lucky and you have a couple things that are both. Like my favorite watch band design was actually my first one, which was my henna design. That one's still a popular one. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And then my watch band stand, which I was very proud of because I looked and looked and looked for an already made stand that I could just buy the file. And I just wasn't finding anything that didn't take up a lot of space and held more than 10 watch bands. And they were all over my desk. So I was like, I need somewhere to put them. And so my watch band stand still to this day is one of like, a good selling design for me. But those two were like, those were lucky. Those are really my only two that I was like, I really like this. I'm really proud of this. Put it out. And it actually like, it's the reciprocated.
Right.
But a lot of the things that I put out, it's like, oh, I'm just going to list this because I've already made it. I don't personally like really like it, or maybe it didn't turn out exactly how I thought it would in my head. And those still sell very well. So you gotta just do it. Like Nike, put that shit out there.
Oh, yes.
So what are your goals for the future? I know you said a makerspace a few times, which is super cool because, those are great for people who are just starting out and who don't or can't buy all of the things but want to try all of the things.
Right. I think that's a far-reaching goal. We have a warehouse space that is across town, which is where we store and cut our wood products. It also has a nice little office in the front where my husband offices his law firm out of.
Oh, nice.
And so there's that. I'm going to build a house.
Yeah.
A lot of my goals are really centered around my family.
Yeah.
For my business, I have some short-term goals. Like I really want to put some time into my supply shop and list more laser cut blanks because that is easier to fulfill than the custom work.
Totally.
I find myself always wanting to try to give all of the options for all of the things. So a lot of my custom work takes a lot of time.
Right.
And so I'm trying to focus on the supply side so that maybe it'll give me the time and the opportunity to really cultivate the brand identity that I want for K. Davis Designs or even Wooden Scriptures. So the goals are really to try to focus a little bit more and just continue to be productive. I spend about as much money as I make.
Right.
I make a pretty good amount of revenue across all of our shops. It's just I love all of the things.
Well, and
I want a fiber laser.
Yeah, that's on our lists. Yeah.
I want a heat press that's at least 40 inches. I've been looking at one of those.
I didn't even know that those existed.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the size of our table. That's bigger than our table.
That's a big heat press.
Yeah. I mean, it's wider than our table.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
what are you going to press on that?
Well, what I'll press on it is my Unisub signs. I got the Glowforge Pro.
It's a big piece of wood. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And so Unisub is a specialized wood MDF product that sublimation designs really well. It's beautiful, vibrant. I wish I had something to show you, but I don't.
Yeah.
But actually I do. These earrings are Unisub.
Oh no, I was wondering how the front. Nice.
Yeah, these earrings are Unisub. Like I said, I made a sign and there was like clouds left over that didn't press onto the sign. And so I cut it off and pressed the earrings. But I like making gamer signs. My son and my nephew, they play video games like crazy. And it's actually one of the things I'm going to make them soon. But I want to make them big. Yeah. And when I would do a 48-inch one before, because I have made them and I've sold them, but I think that the production quality will be higher if I can do it in a single press.
Right.
Because pressing it multiple times, sometimes you end up with a line.
Right. Yeah.
And my goal is always to make the absolute best thing that I can make.
Right.
And for me, my husband's like, it always means spending money. But yeah, so for a little while, we're going to be spending a little bit more money so that I can actually continue to develop my products the way I want them to be.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, so I liked how you said that a lot of your goals are family oriented, which is huge too, because when you're growing your business, you need to have a plan as far as like, how big do I want this to be? Or what do I want to come from my business as far as like what that means for my family? Like some people are totally fine working 40, 60, 80 hours a week and, you know, making those like sacrifices as long as they're temporary, or some people just really enjoy, you know, doing that and family time isn't like as huge of a priority. But for us, it's similar in that like our business goals are to make more money, but to use that money to fix our roof, to fix our pool, to have a bigger house, or, you know, have to have more time, because like one of our goals is to get him working from home. But one of the motivations behind that goal is so that he can have more time with the boys, because right now, you know, he works 2 to midnight. And so he doesn't see them 5 nights a week and only sees them, you know, in the morning and then his 2 days off. So it would be amazing if he had the flexibility to work from home, but then be home when the boys come home and us have dinner as a family, not only 2 days a week. And, you know, we both put them to bed, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So our business goals are also like family goals. I don't want to get so big that we don't have time for family. Like I'm okay with getting big, but then that means I need to be able to delegate or hire people to do certain things so that I can be home, you know, with my family, with my boys. We can go on a vacation and not have to worry about having enough vacation time and that kind of stuff. So, it can look different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like your business goals can mean, oh, I just want more. I want to, at first, remember my business goal was just, to contribute to the bills, because I was staying at home. And for the longest time, it was, you know, all of my business, which we had the luxury of being able to, when I made money, it went back into my business. So that helped my business grow faster, because I wasn't having to make money and then turn around and use the money I made to pay the phone bill. I was able to take that money and buy more materials, or buy that new machine, or buy those other things so that I could grow it. But my motivation in the beginning was just to be able to like it was going to be a bonus to be able to contribute my half of the bills as a stay-at-home mom. So, and now it's blossomed into whatever this is that we're doing.
Amazingness. That's what
yes. Yes, I agree. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people, like, they see what other people are doing and they're like, oh, I want that, or, you know, my business is unsuccessful because I'm not doing that. And that's not necessarily the case. You really got to sit down and ask yourself, like, what is your end goal with your family and your business, and trying to get them to using your business to get to that point.
Right. I mean, I have revenue goals, but my son plays baseball in the spring and the summer. He's going to play
sports
basketball.
That's mom.
Yep. My daughter just started dance class. My son also plays drums, so he's got time commitments that I have to be there for.
Right.
My daughter started dance class. She also is going to play basketball this fall, and my husband and I recently became the guardians of our nephew whose parents had passed away.
Yeah.
And he's 12. He plays football.
Yeah.
So we've got so many things like going where we need to be there for the kids, and sometimes it's either or, but we prefer it to be both of us. I don't like missing my baby's game. I don't like the practice. I don't like not being able to take care of them.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that if you're a mom who
has to miss those things,
give that to others, and has someone who takes care of your kids, that doesn't make you a great mom.
Right.
For me, that is very, very important.
Right.
Like being present. And for a little while, like when I first got my laser, I would be in my craft room, and even if I was there with my kids, I would work all the time.
Yeah. Same.
And I wasn't able to give them a lot of time. And I made a whole lot more money, but I did not.
Right, but the sacrifices you made weren't.
All of those moments, because those little people are only little people.
Man, it goes so fast. Yeah.
So fast.
Yeah.
Like that they, in the blink of an eye, my daughter started calling me mom instead of mom. She's 4.
Our 5-year-old started calling us bruh.
Bro.
Okay?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Listen, I heard, so my friends have older kids, right? And so they warned me this would happen. I've seen the statuses that how you go from mommy to mom to bro, right? Or bruh, okay? And I didn't think that would happen at 5.
Right.
And I was like...
And it was from one day to another.
He learned it at school and I think on YouTube. And I'm like,
now everything is bro.
Oh my God. And we finally got the understanding that, like, fine, you can say it to a certain extent, because he'll say it on repeat like 20 times in a row. And it's like, okay, let it go, bro. Like, but like he's absolutely not allowed to call me that. And then he also thought it was funny because he had a fellow student in his class whose name was Crystal. And he was like, oh, her name is Crystal. And then one day, was it in the car? I think it was in the car. I don't know where it was.
No. We were when my mom called.
When he called me Crystal.
Oh yeah, it was in the car.
So we were in the car, and at first, like, we're sitting in the car, and he goes, Crystal, and I go, huh? And I was like, excuse me. Like, I answered it first, and he was like, I love how you answered, and then you immediately was like,
corrected him.
Absolutely not. Like, you do, and then he kept doing it, and we're like, okay, not funny. But like, it goes real fast.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackson is already 1, which is like, I still can't even, like, I still remember, like, when I had him, like, it was the other day, like,
a year already?
He's 14 months. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. One thing that I saw Mindy say once was, the days are long, the years are short, which is, it's one of, like, now my favorite sayings, because it's so true. Like, in the moment, that day is so long, especially on a hard day like it was for me yesterday. But that year was real short. So, you gotta find what works for you. And if it's not your thing, and dad loves going, and maybe dad goes to those things, but just finding that balance that works for you and your family and your business is really is really huge. And we get that luxury, thankfully, for the most part, because we can make our own hours, and we can make that sacrifice of, okay, I am going to go to your football, basketball, whatever, but then that does mean that I have to go home, and after you go to sleep, now I'm working in my shop for a couple hours, but we have that luxury. So, except we got to pass by that couch.
When it's time, like there are times where I will wake up, come over here at 4 in the morning, work until 6:30, 7, go back to the house, get them ready for school, get them to school, then back here just so I can get my work done, so that I can pick them up. Like we pick them up every day at 3:00. Like my work day is short. It is so short. They get dropped off by 8:30, so I have 8:30 to 2:50 to get as much done as I possibly can. And then sometimes, it's just not realistic to say that that's my entire workday.
Right.
So a lot of times I have to come back later after dinner, after they go to bed or whatever.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It's a beautiful thing to be able to be this flexible.
Exactly.
The hard part about it is the rest of my family, like my sisters and my brother and my mom, they expect me to be flexible with my time for them too.
Right. You're like, I don't have time to be flexible for my business, for my family.
There's not that much flex.
There's not that much flex. Yeah. It is true.
We old. We're not flexible.
Right. And I mean,
you can keep that one. Like, I don't know.
Right. I mean, you can only flex so much before it breaks.
This is true. They all have their limits.
Yeah.
So. So I didn't get this from you, but let's mention the discount that is available for everybody. Do you have it?
And,
I think you told.
And from where? From which one of the shops?
So it's good for all of them, she said.
All of them, because it'll be the same code. It makes it easy.
Now, if we could only find that code.
Wherever I set my phone. Okay. I'm absent-minded too. Like this, like I am probably the most impractical business owner you'd ever meet.
Same. I don't think a lot of us are. Because when it comes down to it, we're creators, makers, artists. So we're not necessarily the greatest business owners.
My husband used to fuss at me and say, "Are you an artist? Or are you a business owner?" I'm like, why can't I be both?
Right?
Why can't I be both? But part of the reason you can't be both is sometimes you have to make sacrifices for one or the other.
Right.
The business part is not being a small business owner is not for faint of heart. Like that is tough. And there are so many facets to it that you don't think about when you very first start your business.
Right.
I'm making these shirts. K. Davis Designs LLC.
Right.
I actually wasn't even making shirts then. I'm doing this furniture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a business. I got my business papers drawn up, but
most people don't, and not most. A lot of people don't even do that. Like a lot of people just start like selling.
Open an Etsy shop and sell.
Right. Well, and because all you need for Etsy is your social security number. Right. So you don't actually like have a license and like all of, and then I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, I've been selling for a year. How, like, what do I do with my taxes? And it's like, don't ask these Facebook people how to do your taxes, honey. Like, don't yeah.
Accountant.
Yes, exactly. And so I have a degree in finance, but it's not because I like finance. It's because it's the free degree that my job at the time paid for me to get. I hate finance. So I do not do my own finances. I have an accountant who I send all my stuff to, and I'm like, here, make this pretty.
Here, you just make that work. And she does. Our accountant works with magic.
Same.
But discounts.
Okay.
We've
only mention the one for everybody. The other one's a secret.
Everybody. Everybody will be that'll work. RBP Save 5.
RBP Save 5
project Save 5. RBP.
And so what do they get? They get $5 off of
$5 off of
50, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, well, find the show notes, and I'll put all of her 4 shops in the show notes or in the post when I post about the episodes. So that way you don't have to.
So is it $5 off of 50 or more, or $5 for every 50?
50 or more. 50 or more.
50 or more.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'll say if I spend $100, do I get $10 off?
No. Stop it.
I'm just trying to scam over here.
I'm pretty sure that there may be people who may want to, do two $50 purchases, and that is,
there's always workarounds.
There's always, yes.
There are, and there are lots of people who know how to find them.
Yep.
And so there's a bigger discount which we won't mention, but that will be available for our Patreon members, our patrons.
So go ahead and sign up.
Mm-hmm. Do it, and then you could win this. Win the cup.
The tumbler.
That is a beautiful cup. Did you make that on your pie bar?
I did, girl. Mm-hmm.
My pie bar is still collected dust.
Oh, so it took me a minute. I promise. So listen, Heather made a video of how of doing the pie burn, and I watched that, and I rewound it, and I watched it again, and I over and over, and it helped. So taking it out of the box was, I wouldn't say the easy part for me, because I even put that off for 2 or 3 months before I opened it. Because then I felt as soon as I opened it, then I had to use it, and I wasn't ready to use it. So I kept just keeping it over in the box, safe in the foam.
She needs a name on her.
Yes, definitely. Needs a name on her, yes. I'm going to start bugging you like Stan with Pyburn was bugging me. He was like, I can be annoying. And I was like, I need annoying, because I'm going to keep putting it. And every time I see that message come up, I'm like, shit, they're Stan in my inbox again. Okay. What's my excuse for not doing it this time? But yeah, I watched her video, and it's so much easier. And once you get it, the hard part for me was the settings. It had nothing to do with the actual rotary. The rotary was amazing. Yeah. It's figuring out the settings that work for your machine, because they're different. Like I used, I don't know how many different suggestions of settings before I found the settings that actually worked well for my machine. So that's the hard part. And I personally hate testing. I kind of want to I just want to make it and it work. And that's not how lasers go, unfortunately. But take it out of the box and use it. I promise.
And for when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I should give away like my first tumbler, the one that has all the Riley Black designs everywhere on it.
Yeah, the one that we tested it over, and there's literally no space left, because we tried settings over and over and over and over and over again on the same cup. Yeah. But yeah,
and that was my introduction to lasers. Yeah, personally.
Yeah, he helped me set up the pie burn with me.
That's what this podcast has gone to.
Yeah, he doesn't touch my laser at all. And now when we did the pie burn, we did it together so that he could learn. Because again, I personally like making the design and stuff, but I don't love the actual like making it over and over and over again part. Like I gotta get over it.
And I like the making money
He
aspect.
likes the money part. So he can make the things, I'll make the designs, and then we both make the money is what we're hoping.
That's the hope.
Yes. Get it out of the box. It's an amazing rotary. So my first experience was with the Eon Chuck rotary, and it serves its purpose for sure, but it's a little bit trickier to like level. And with the Pyburn, you literally do this, turn this little wheel to level your cup, and get it out the box, girl.
I've watched a lot of videos. I have. Like, I've watched the videos. I've watched the stuff in the group. I like to try to find out all of the things that I can before I attempt to do something. And because I'm the kid who didn't raise her hand in class unless she knew the answer. If my hand is up, I know.
You're sure. Like, I know this one. I know this one.
I am when it comes to, like, creating. I will research and read and look and try to figure out if somebody else can show me. Or I love written instructions. There are not a lot of written instructions.
No, see, and I hate written instructions.
That sucks. I love written instructions. Like, love it. But I like to.
But Pyburn, they have a manual and instructions, don't they? Or are they videos?
I read it. I read it, and I still just have to
Just rip off that Band-Aid. I'm gonna start bugging you to make sure you use it, because I mean it's another expensive piece of equipment. And that was the other thing, was I needed for like my peace of mind. I want to make the money back that I spent on it, at least. And then after that, if I let it sit there, that's one thing. But I've just heard how easy it is. You get a couple big orders and you pay that thing off in no time. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll have that dialed into my head, and hopefully one of these days soon I'll say, look, Crystal, I did.
I'm going to keep bugging you. I'm going to be that squeaky wheel in your inbox. Hey, Khara. How's the Pyburn doing?
Girl, that's fine over there collecting dust.
Well, you're great. Did we cover everything? Oh, where can people find you?
Yes.
My Instagram is K Davis Designs LLC. Triton's has one as well. Triton's Craft Supplies. It also has a Facebook. It's kind of neglected.
Yeah,
but it's there. It exists. Yeah. I attempt to do the social media thing the most with my K Davis Designs shop and business page. I have a lot more posts and interactions on those two pages. Cool. It's easier.
Yeah.
But K Davis Designs LLC everywhere. That's me.
Well, thank you again. You did amazing. You had nothing to be nervous about.
Thanks for being on and chatting it up with us. And thanks to all the listeners and now watchers. Don't forget to follow our YouTube page on Riley Black Designs. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Comment.
Yeah. Do
all the things.
Yeah.
And that's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.